Hello, I am Dr. Brett Spradlin. We are at Divine Design Natural Health. And do we have a crowd here? They surprise me every time, I tell you. Well, you know, I wanted to start this out by telling you a little story. Probably a few weeks ago, we had a couple of people walk in this office, and they walked in and they had such a presence. Two guys, big guys, black suits, tailored, Italian, slicked back hair, dark eyes, dark features. Both of them were wearing sunglasses, though. I thought it was very interesting. They were tall, strong, built, handsome, Adonises almost, you know. They both had suitcases that looked like the nuclear codes were inside them. And I didn't notice them at first. I heard about it later, but they walked to the front desk. They went to Nadia and said, "Is Dr. Spradlin here?" Nadia kind of said, "Well, how can I help you?" They said, "We'd like to talk to Dr. Spradlin." So she said, "Dr. Spradlin, we have radios, big office, we have radios." She said, "Dr. Spradlin, there are two men here to see you." Two suspicious men here to see you. And of course, we have this happen all the time. So I said, "Well, you know, just set them in the corner and tell them to, you know, stare at the wall." No, I'm just kidding. But I said, "Well, I'll be right there." So I went up front, and of course, I noticed these guys sitting there. They were motionless, silent, almost kind of very wise, and, you know, almost like some kind of light was shining from them. So I said, "Gentlemen, how can I help you?" "You're Dr. Spradlin." I said, "Well, yeah. I mean, don't you know me? I'm famous." I said, "How can I help you?" And they said, "We'd like to talk to you, make you an offer, a proposal. We have a proposal for you." I said, "Really? You're kidding. What kind of proposal?" They're like, "Well, we'd like to talk to you in private." I said, "Okay, let's go." Went back to the office. We sat down. They said, "Dr. Spradlin, we've been watching you." I said, "Really? And in what manner? Like creepily?" And they said, "No, not like that." I said, "We watch your classes, and we've said to ourselves, we really like what this guy's teaching. He makes a lot of sense. You know, it seems like he's passionate, seems like he's hopeful about the future, seems like he likes to educate people and tell people the truth." And I said, "Well, you know, you got me. Guilty. Guilty as charged right there." So they said, "Well, we'd like to make you an offer." And I said, "An offer of what?" And they said, "Well, we want to get behind what you're doing here. We want to help you. We want to donate to your cause." And I said, "Really? What's attached to this?" So without further ado, here's a word from our sponsors.
Is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer.
ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Making a difference. Brought to you by Pfizer.
CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer. Early Start. Brought to you by Pfizer. Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This Week with George Stephanopoulos is brought to you by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press Data Download brought to you by Pfizer.
This portion of CBS This Morning sponsored by Pfizer.
On how to find the hidden sugars in the American family diet. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So needless to say, there's a parting gift and a present for all of you at the front. We're just going to need your name, your ID, your social security number. And it's going to feel like a small pinprick when you leave. That's the payment. So here we go. Cure for cancer. Everybody know what the cure for cancer is? You do? Why are you here? Well, here, take the microphone. Here's how it all works, though, before we get into this, because you'll see a pattern. You'll see a pattern of how this works, along with a pattern of what is currently taking over the world. Here's how it works. The government prints a bunch of money, fake money, out of thin air, right? How many of you know this? Yeah. Your value of your dollar is going down. Everything's inflating. Then the government offers all of this money to private institutions, to your schools, your colleges, all that. Fake grant money to businesses to push unnecessary treatments, if you get what I'm saying. And they're now, even as of last week, a couple days before Halloween, targeting 5 to 11-year-olds. Wonderful, isn't it? Right before Halloween. big demonic holiday? A little child sacrifice, anybody? Yeah. So that's how you get the whole free shots, free lottery tickets, free Uber rides, free donuts, free fast food. You get a $2,500 bonus on your paycheck. You get free, what's the other stuff? Free college tuition, free mattresses, free college tuition, free lottery tickets, right? Free hamburgers, free donuts. You get free meals, paycheck incentives. You get subsidies of other tax breaks to big, large corporations who comply, like airlines, transportation companies, this and that, right? So then the people get their, the employer seems like a benevolent benefactor, giving the employee an incentive to get a shot. So then the employee goes down and gets the suicide clot shot, gene modification, nanotechnology therapy.
Amen.
Right? To comply, and then they receive their monetary reward, correct? Then the patient, days, weeks, months, who knows, later, could be a year, 2, 5, 10, later, who knows, and depending upon how many other flu shots, clot shots, and boosters they get, along with how many medications and drugs they take, along with how many lotions, potions, thrills, and pills they inject or subplant onto or into their bodies, they will come down with symptoms that then will be delivered to a emergency room, in which case all of that money that they got as an incentive will be funneled right back to where? The medical industry that just sponsored all of your brainwashing. So that's how all of that works. I want you to get that. When people get the clot shot, then they go out and then they get the side effects from it working, right? Which is what you're being told. And then all that fake printed incentive money flows right back into the medical care system required to treat your clot shot. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Intelligence quotient of the entire population descends rapidly. In other words, intelligence quotient is another way of saying your IQ points, if you've noticed, Are people getting smarter or stupider? Wow, yep. And then repeat that millions of times in varying ways to treat an invisible pathogen with only one possible option, which is increased frequency of boosters over time, in which case they will not tell you what's in the stuff, and they will pass laws to make you take it. So that's how that works. And in light of that, here's another video I want to show you. It's just a 4-minute video. This is something I think you all need to think about. This is, let's just roll it. This is where it's going. In light of all the current event stuff, I just thought I'd play this video.
Welcome to your future. A digitally interdependent, hyper-connected, networked world. Throw off the tethers of ordinary reality and join the digitized multitudes ruled by global e-governance. With your very own new world citizen of the People's Federated Republic of the Great Democratic United Global States Incorporated chip card. Just one chip is now a key to every relevant database you are in on Earth. We're taking identification to a technocratic level beyond Aldous Huxley's wildest dream and George Orwell's nightmares. One chip linked to your unique citizen number connects to all of your relevant societal business, including your passport, your driver's license, and all Federation-required licenses, titles, and registrations, your car, home, and medical insurance, all of your medical records, including your mandatory annual psychological evaluation, your DNA profile, and your prescriptions, your voter registration and history, and your bank account and digital universal basic income credits. But that's not all. Your blockchain-protected New World Citizen chip also gives you a digital footprint everywhere you go on the web, from online news sources to all of your social media accounts, authenticating you online to ensure a safe, peaceful, and secure society where no one can offend anyone else, because no one can hide. Continuous, real-time, 24/7 tracking and tracing will ensure a truly peaceful, digital utopia for all. No more fear of identity theft or forgetting those pesky passwords, as your digital citizen mark will be biometrically verified through your fingerprints, iris scan, EEG, voice print,
I'm sorry, Dave,
and facial map. From Cairo to Rome to Ingolstadt to Paris to Washington to Estonia and Astana. From ocean to ocean to heck, all of the oceans. Being a digital resident offers you a new concept of freedom to be a global citizen under your borderless digital new world order.
May be incompatible with faith and the actual definition of freedom. Databases wholly owned and operated by the People's Federated Republic of the Great Democratic United World States, Incorporated, and their subsidiaries. Your digital citizenship is legally binding, and data may be shared with third parties listed in subsection 187-C.2 without your express knowledge or consent. These terms and conditions are subject to change at any time, which is fine because they are 8,642 pages long and we know no one is reading the fine print. Travel allowed only in pre-approved, chip-validated mega regions and not including core or reserved sustainable development zones, as designated by the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. Online behaviors deemed negative or harmful are subject to UBI digital credit deduction without notice, up to and including account termination. See user agreement for further details.
Our smart grid network touches every corner of the globe.
It's one digital new world.
And your chip is your portal to it. So apply today
to authenticate and secure your digital citizenship.
Because if you didn't do anything wrong,
you shouldn't have anything to hide.
And in this brave new world, you won't be able to.
How will they sell it to you? We'll discuss that. Most people will accept it. They won't have to sell it to you. Okay. So welcome to Divine Design. Well, but first, actually, you know what? You guys come on up. Because I want everybody to meet, if you haven't already, I'm sure most of you already know, Amanda and Lauren. Come on up. Just so you know, it's not just about educating patients, it's about educating staff. So we went to a seminar this weekend. It was a standard process, MediHerb seminar up in Knoxville. They just haven't been happening a lot lately. But just give a little overview on what you learned. What were some take-home messages? What do you think everybody here should know about what you learned this weekend?
Well, I brought notes because I can't remember all this stuff like you do.
Okay.
So my big takeaways that I had, something that we learn here all the time is that everything is caused by nutrition, whether it's stuff that you need that you're not getting or stuff that you have that you don't need in your body. Mm-hmm. The second biggest thing was that like God created millions of things, like every single thing that our bodies need to heal from anything natural or unnatural. Mm-hmm. He created it. It's already out there. But a lot of those things are just kind of demonized. There are tons of myths that surround just essential herbs that you find around the world, but myths lead to people going to something chemical rather than natural, which then gives them an instant effect or a cure for their symptom, which leads to more long-term problems.
Yep.
So those were my big ones.
Fabulous. And what she's talking about is like, people thinking that, if I take this herb, it could counter. Can I overdose? Can I overdose on the supplements? Can I overdose on this? Can I overdose on that? See, they're only getting that idea from everyone being on drugs for decades. Mm-hmm. See, everything we have in that food room is safe for kids, dogs, cats, moms, dads, pregnant women, babies, infants. Everything we have in that food room. And if you're new tonight, we'll do a tour. So some of those things get propagated by people's ignorance, and some of them get false flagged on purpose. Good.
And it was crazy, too, that some doctors were even asking, can they overdose on this herb? So
True.
That was...
What were some of the other when doctors would ask questions that kind of blew you away?
I mean, they were also set on like protocols. They were asking the speaker, like, how much do I give a patient every how many hours? Like, what's your protocol on this?
Right.
Rather than you do muscle testing, so you can find out what we need, how many a day, which they don't.
Right.
So they were asking a lot of protocols and post-COVID shot protocols was a big one.
Right,
He
right.
gave, what supplements to give before and after the shot, which we wouldn't need here.
We don't need.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can tell a personalized schedule for each person depending on your diet, your genetics, how many drugs you're on, how many organs you're missing, whatever. Your body's telling us what to give you, not me, not the books I read, right? So we go to a seminar, 70 other doctors, and most of them are asking like, oh, what's the protocol on this or that? See, it's not about protocols. See, medicine is protocols. Everybody who's got fibromyalgia goes on this drug. If you got depression, you go on that drug. See, that's a protocol. They're not the same because no two people are the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just crazy realizing that, we have all of these herbs and plants and animals to heal our bodies. God gave us all of those to work with. Like the speaker was giving specific symptoms, diseases, and what herbs are, liver, all of this stuff to use to help cure that. And we were given that. We don't need chemicals, medications, everything the medical system says you need to cure or treat something.
Right.
We can actually fix it using plants and animals and herbs.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you learned a lot, yes?
Yes. Right.
Fabulous. Good. Okay, I put you on the spot long enough. That's great. Good job. I wanted to put these guys on the spot. Yeah, along with what Lauren was saying, God was not surprised by the bioweapon. God was not surprised. He's given us everything on this earth. He's given us everything he's ever going to give us to deal with disease and sickness. And guess what? The plants that he put on this earth are more powerful than anything man can create in a laboratory. Period. Period. All right, so welcome to Divine Design, Natural Health. Most of medicine, I'll just say this. What's the opposite of natural health? Unnatural, right? How would you like to go to a place that said, this is, instead of Divine Design, Natural Health, it's chemical accident, unnatural death. Think of the opposite of what you're experiencing here, and that's the place. That's what most healthcare is to a lot of people. You could define it as it actually is: disease treatment, chemical accident, unnatural death. What do you think? We're going to rename it. Good idea. So your doctors were taught. Here's the premise. Here's why we're going into what we're going into. Your doctors were taught that you are a cosmic accident. All of the medicine that you believe in, everything you've been taught medically, is based on the idea that you were a random chemical accident when lightning hit a mud puddle 4.6 billion years ago. You lost your tails and your scales. You slithered out of the primordial soup onto land. Then after that, at some point, somehow, your evolutionary little lump had to find another evolutionary little lump and had to bump uglies enough to be able to have young. And then your young had to then evolve. And then somehow you got legs, crawled out of the soup, right? And then the butterflies, the caterpillars. Well, I guess that's the same thing. Oh, yeah, that poses a problem for the evolutionists, doesn't it? But the bugs, the worms, the snakes, the reptiles, the amphibians, the fish, everything, the mammals, the horses, the cattle, the dogs, and cats, all had to evolve separately, male and female. And then somehow, over millions of years, and over millions of acres of land mass and water mass, the female lump had to find the male lump and make a baby lump. And then they had to decide, is it going to be in an egg, or is it going to be live young, or is it going to be larva? Are we going to have one, or are we going to have more than one? Right? You get the stupidity of thinking that everything is a cosmic accident. However, when you believe that, it's easy then, if you're a cosmic accident of a bunch of chemicals being hit by lightning hitting a mud puddle, then what's the problem with atheistic evolutionary secular medicine putting more chemicals into a bag of random chemicals? So then everybody comes to me and says, well, my doctor just wants to put me on pills. That's all he can do by law, and that's all he can do by license. Get over it, because that's all he will do. If you're going to a medical doctor and he's putting you on pills, that's because that's by law and by his license. He will be punished for not doing so. So people come here and they say, well, I don't want to be on the pills. Great, welcome home. Because now, you being natural, you're an extremist, but unnatural is mandatory. So you need a new tribe, my friend. We're your home. We're your home base right here, right? So here's the goals for tonight. Oh, and by the way, too, They call us, what we do here is ancient. It's ancient. But we are complementary and alternative, while bypasses and antibiotics are traditional and conventional. Been around 50, 60, maybe 120, 150 years. But those herbs and plants and light and water and heat and electricity and my hands, those 7 things that we use here have been around for 6,000 years. But we're complementary and alternative. Remember, they'll call good evil and evil good. They will call light darkness and darkness light. So here's our goals for tonight. To empower you with practical knowledge to become independently healthy. And when you're independently healthy, you can become independently wealthy, because you can't have wealth without health, right? You want to make more money, start feeling better, and you might get some great ideas. To expose you to suppressed and censored information despite the rampant fraud and deception in high places, church. Can I get an amen? Amen. You're sitting on pews, you better say amen. To make you aware that drug companies, not your doctors, determine your health care. Some of you already knew that. And then to illustrate doing well versus doing good regarding business and ministry. There are 2 different things, a difference between doing well and doing good. If you do good for people, eventually you will do well. Everybody get what I'm saying? However, most of business and healthcare is all about doing well, and then maybe we'll do some good. Do you get the difference between the 2? We'll show you what we mean as we go on. Oh, she's choking. She's choking. Help. Okay, so here's a disclaimer. You know what? Cancer has affected all of us. None of this is meant to be like disrespectful or hateful towards anybody, but we're just trying to let you know that there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. This has affected all of us. It's affected me in many ways, so just get over it. This is not meant to be offensive. So here, what is cancer? I know we got to do a little background. What is cancer? Here we go. Now, scroll down to how does cancer develop? Keep going, keep going, keep going. When cancer spreads, keep going, keep going. So this is this is cancer.gov. Scroll down to how does cancer develop? I want you to read this. Go over here to the, right, yeah, there you go. So here's what everybody's told, okay? Cancer is a genetic disease. Get this. That is, it's caused by changes to genes that control the way our cells function, especially how they grow and divide. Genetic changes that cause cancer can happen because of errors that occur as cells divide. So it's God's fault. Of damage to DNA caused by harmful substances in the environment. This is cancer.gov. This is the National Cancer Institute. Such as the chemicals, and all you'll ever hear is this. All you'll ever hear is the chemicals in tobacco smoke and UV rays from the sun. That's all you're going to hear. They were inherited from so genetic changes cause cancer when they were inherited from our parents. What's the problem with that? Well, the body normally eliminates cells with damaged DNA before they can turn cancerous, but the body's ability to do so goes down as we age. So now they get you thinking as you grow older, just cancer's a normal way of life. So remember, this is talking about how does cancer develop? Where does people get cancer? What is cancer? Cancer is just growth of cells getting out of control. We don't want to make it too simple here, but they're telling you what it comes from. It comes from environmental exposure to chemicals, but the only chemicals they list are tobacco smoke and, tobacco smoke and radiation. See, they're saying chemicals and radiation right there. Caused by harmful substances in the environment, chemicals in tobacco smoke, and UV radiation from the sun. So they make you afraid of tobacco, which is a plant, and they make you afraid of the sun. Keep that in mind. Each person's cancer has a unique combination of genetic changes. As the cancer continues to grow, additional changes will occur even within the same tumor. Different cells may have different genetic changes. What does this set you up for? Genetic testing, in which case there will never be a stop to figuring out which gene for which cancer, because there's more cancers developing all the time. So we're always going to have to keep looking for, here's the breast cancer gene, here's the prostate cancer gene, here's the lung cancer gene. You see the problem with this? It's never explained how environmental toxins cause cancer. Next one, cancer statistics. So I just want you to see that. That's when people go and Google, what is cancer? What do I do? This is the first stuff they're going to see. So here's cancer statistics. Major impact on society in the U.S. Let's just go right down to the stats. Just scroll down a little bit for me, Jonathan. Thank you. Please keep going. Right here. This is mind-blowing. In 2020, an estimated 1.6 million new cases of cancer will be diagnosed in the U.S. alone, and 606,000 people will die in 2020. This is pre-shot, by the way. Most common cancers, this is good for you to know: breast cancer, lung, prostate, colon, skin, bladder, non-Hodgkin lymphoma, kidney, endometrial leukemia, that's blood cancer, another way of saying blood cancer, pancreatic, thyroid, and liver. So you see, it's places where fat can be stored. It's your detoxification organs, like, there are a few of them, 4 or 5. Lung detoxes your air. Colon detoxes your food. Kidney detoxes your water. And skin detoxes your sweat. Good to know. Then other stuff like bladder. What sits in your bladder? Something you're trying to detox. Then what sits in your endometrial cancer, women? What's your uterus push out once a month? Blood. So women have a detox pathway that men don't. It's called bleeding. Leukemia. What's leukemia again? Blood cancer. Interesting. Pancreatic cancer, you get that, you go down, because your pancreas makes all of your digestive enzymes. So that's why you're loaded with money like Steve Jobs, Michael Landon, Patrick Swayze, but you get pancreatic cancer and you can't digest your food. They had all the money in the world, but they couldn't get better. Follow me? Pancreatic cancer, see? Thyroid cancer, liver cancer. Okay, liver is a detox organ, right? That's your digestive system, and if your liver goes down and you get yellow skin, what's the problem? Your skin or your liver? Your liver, see? Because your liver is detoxing your blood, and when it can't do that, your blood goes into your skin, turns you yellow. So prostate, lung, colorectal cancers account for 43% of all cancers diagnosed in men. For women, the most common are breast, lung, and colon. So colon and colon for both sexes. So a lot of cameras going up a lot of butts. The rate of new cases of cancer is 442 out of 100,000. Death rates of 158 out of 100,000. Cancer mortality is higher among men than women. We've already talked about that, haven't we? Why the guys die sooner than the women? The women are always sicker, but the guys always die first. We talked about that in Stress the Death Cascade. You want to understand a whole lot of things you're never going to learn in the medical system. The class called Stress the Death Cascade is you will figure out why women are sick, but they live longer than the men. So as soon as the women get done changing the diapers on the babies, guess who's the next diaper they change? Their husbands. As of January 2019, there were an estimated 17 million cancer survivors in the U.S. Number of cancer survivors is projected to increase up to 5 more million by 2030. Approximately 40% of men and women will be diagnosed with cancer at some point during their lifetimes, based on data that's 5 years old. So that's basically saying now the number is 50%. So look to your left, look to your right. One of those people, according to this, will have cancer in their lifetime. We went to that 50% from 120 years ago. Nobody knew what cancer was. But wait. We launched the war on cancer in the 1970s. We're making progress towards research and development of like a cure for cancer, aren't we? Billions of dollars of research are going into this. You're about to learn some stuff. Estimated national expenditures for cancer in 2018 were $150 billion. So scroll down here. Cancer is among leading causes of death worldwide. It's always heart disease, medical error, and prescription drugs, and then cancer. You want to know the top killers? Well, here, top killers. Number 1, abortion in the world. Number 1 way people die, humans die in the world, is they're killed in the womb. Number 2, that's why when you get people that say you can kill the babies from 0 to 9 months, you need... So abortion, number 1. Heart disease, because heart disease is a nutritional disorder, and nutrition sucks. And then medical error, which is really how medicine does things with drugs, surgeries, and procedures and poisons, right? And then cancer. Here it is. By 2040, the number of new cancer cases per year will rise 30 million, and the number of cancer-related deaths to 16. So it's going up. But we've been working on this cancer thing. Everybody's wearing pink ribbons. Everybody's drinking pink lemonade. And we're not making any progress. So what does that tell you? They've been kicking this can down the street for 50 years. What does that tell you what they're doing with the shot right now? They can't even get a handle on this. And they've got hundreds of billions of dollars in their pockets. Jesus. Mortality trends, it just goes on and on. We'll go to the next cancer prevention overview. This is wonderful. You guys are going to fall out. This is great. This is great. So it's lighthearted, lots of jokes, right? This is great. Risk factors. Factors that are known to increase the risk of cancer. Here we go. Cigarette smoking and tobacco use. See? Infections. Infections. Why? Because it's an immune system problem. A cancer is an immune system problem. So if you have an infection, guess what? Your immune system is hit. But what's the one thing you're not hearing in the news about this clot shot? This bioweapon that got dropped? What's the one thing they're not telling you how to do? Boost your immune system. It's a magical thing that if you come into the emergency room, motorcycle accident, and you don't have your vaccine, we can't touch you. But the second we give you that vaccine, okay, now you're good. That's how magical, black magic witchcraft, that's how magical this vaccine is. You're not contagious now because we shot you with a poison. So those infections, all that means is you've got a lowered immune system. So can you get cancer faster? You bet. So keep your immune system up here, and guess what? You won't be killing yourself. Other thing, radiation, see? You're just going to, and look at this, immunosuppressive medicines, right? Tells you right there, if your immune system is down, so we know that these things can cause cancer, right? Factors that may affect the risk of cancer. Diet, alcohol, I don't know. We got a lot of alcohol commercials during the Super Bowl and during sports stuff. I don't know. Alcohol may or may not. Physical activity may affect, I don't know. Obesity, Diabetes, perhaps, because of the drugs that people are on. Environmental risk factors. Wow. Let's read this. Some risk factors for cancer can be avoided, many cannot. Many other factors in our environment, diet, and lifestyle may cause or prevent cancer. You see, it's just like you might have high blood pressure or low blood pressure. You might have hyperthyroid or hypothyroid. We don't know, right? Factors that are known to increase. Check this out. Told you, you're just going to see tobacco. Scroll down. Factors that are known to increase cancer. Infections, here's why. Viruses and bacteria are able to cause cancer. HPV, women get your Gardasil. Hepatitis B and C, kids, when they're little, poke them. Epstein-Barr, poke them. Helicobacter, poke them. 2 vaccines to prevent infection by cancer-causing agents have already been developed. So I covered a class way back before the bioweapon dropped, talking about the top 10 threats to global health. Out of that, the World Health Organization, out of those top 10 threats, the top 10 threats were not starvation. The top 10 threats were not, lack of water in villages in sub-Saharan Africa, none of it. All the threats were infectious disease, bird flu, swine flu. How do you fix all those? Vaccine. 8 out of the 10, the only way you could fix them was vaccines. That was the top 10 health threats at the beginning of 2020. 8 out of the 10, the only way to fix them was a vaccine. So look at this, Gardasil, okay, here's radiation. This is great, you'll love this. This is right from the National Cancer Institute. Being exposed to radiation is a known cause of cancer. There are 2 main types of radiation linked with an increased risk for cancer. UV radiation from the sunlight, so you get people freaked out about the sunshine. So there goes your vitamin D. Oh, and by the way, if we slather on some sunscreen, it's full of chemicals that cause what? Perfect. This is the main cause of non-melanoma skin cancers. Ionizing radiation, including medical radiation from tests to diagnose cancer. This is the cancer.gov website, folks. Such as x-rays, CAT scans, fluoroscopy, and nuclear medicine scans. Fluoroscopy means that's where they make you glow with radioactivity. Radon gas in your homes. Scientists believe ionizing radiation causes leukemia, thyroid cancer, breast cancer in women. Wait. Ionizing radiation, breast cancer, what do they call that? Mammogram. Interesting. See, people don't read. People don't critically think. Why? Because they're drinking fluoridated water. They're taking vaccines and drugs to dumb them down. They're eating sugar, which, by the way, shrinks your brain, folks. So the bread, the cake, the candy, the pasta, the noodles, the bagels, the donuts, shrinks the size of your brain. Sugar feeds cancer, causes cancer, grows cancer. subsidized. It's in the vending machines, in the nursing homes, in the schools. But the growing use of CT scans over the last 20 years has increased exposure to ionizing radiation. The risk of cancer increases from the number of CT scans a patient has and the radiation dose used each time. Who's keeping track of that? Nobody. You go to the hospital or the ER or the doc in the box down the street, of which we have 57 in this town, and you have chest pain, what are they going to do? Shoot you. Shoot you. Shoot. You got back pain, what are they going to do? Shoot you. X-ray. Shoot you. X-ray. What are they going to do with chest? CT scan. CT scan. First thing they're going to do, no questions asked. Why? Because your insurance covers it. That's why people ask me, do you take insurance? No. Do you do x-rays? No. Why? Because we get people better. Insurance won't allow that. Immunosuppressive medications after organ transplant, factors that may affect the risk of cancer, diet. The foods you eat on a regular basis make up your diet. Well, no duh. Really? It's also hard for people who take part in studies to keep track of what they eat over a long period of time. This may explain why studies have different results about how diet affects the risk of cancer. Really? I've had so many people here who had colon cancer or had Crohn's disease or celiac disease, and I say, let me guess, your gastroenterologist that cut your guts out, sewed your butt together, and gave you a colostomy bag, told you that food had nothing to do with your condition. And they're like, how'd you know? Okay, so that's the cancer prevention overview. So if you want to know how the system is telling you to prevent cancer, I just laid it bare right there. They're telling you how they cause it, the medical tests. So why is modern medicine so ineffective? Here goes. Ready? This is great. This is wonderful. And then we'll do a commercial break. You're chomping at the bit to see some memes, aren't you? I can tell. Everybody here is wondering about the meme fire we're bringing. So why is it so ineffective? Well, if one stubbornly refuses to understand how the machine was actually created, one will forever struggle in vain to effectively repair it. They think you're a cosmic accident. That's why the door on this building says divine design, not cosmic accident. You are here because you have now become disillusioned with the traditional medical model of expensive drugs and needless surgeries, which completely ignore the underlying cause of disease. Acute traumas aside, modern medicine is a disaster for chronic degenerative diseases, causing the worldwide majority of disability and death while simultaneously enriching multinational drug corporations. What do I mean by that? Let's check this out. Drug companies are the largest political lobbying force in Washington, D.C. It's not oil, it's not tobacco, not guns. They have more lobbyists in Washington than congressmen. They manipulate legislation to favor their ability to sell their products. They spend over $4 billion per year for television advertising, legal in only 2 countries in the entire world. Television advertising for drugs is legal in only 2 countries, here and New Zealand. What's happening in New Zealand right now? Next, they spend over $16 billion per year to influence prescription habits of doctors. That's over $10K per year for every doctor in the US. They monitor prescription rates of doctors and bonus them accordingly. And they filled more than 5 billion prescriptions in 2006, over 1 prescription per month for every US citizen. Isn't that nuts? Wow, your ears are smoking. All right, well, hey, we got more. So commercial break. Amanda, you want to bring the fire?
Yes.
Go for it.
All right. This one's really short. It's from a brand new patient, actually, but I felt like it was very fitting for tonight. She says, when I came in for my new patient exam, I had a crusty, oozing spot on my back that we had thought was skin cancer. After just 1 week at Divine Design, taking my supplements and doing a 1-foot spa, it was completely gone.
Take that, dermatology. All right. When their shot didn't protect them from infection, but they want you to take a shot to protect them from infection, pineal gland may have some blood clots. I'll let you. That's a picture of me in high school, right there. People just now saying something doesn't seem right. You know, when this thing dropped like March 13th of last year, I said, this is not right. There's something, I smell a rat. Next. No vaccination, no candy.
Let's go, Brandon. I love it.
I'll read this for the back for the people who can't see it. Waiting on all those "look how awesome Biden is" posts to come across my Facebook feed like. I blame anti-vaxxers for everything. It's cool you're so open about your mental illness. Yeah. I think they should replace the kids' desks at school with restaurant tables. That way, when they sit down, they can take off their mask. You know, we laugh, but it's in seriousness because the stupidity has gotten so next level. But we laugh about it, but people really think this. People really think that, okay, here's the deal. Either God created you perfect, here's the only other option, or somehow Bill Gates or Elon Musk or Anthony Fauci or somebody is going to improve you. You have two choices. Sheep and the goats. Next. Oh. Just because all your friends are experimenting with drugs, that doesn't mean you have to. The little boy is saying that. I know a lot of you didn't get that, so I had to, the bubble's coming from the kid. I love it. Oh, all right, so we like to have fun around here. However, we have to let you know, you have been indoctrinated with lies. How do I know? Well, Nixon declared a war on cancer in the 70s. We talked about that. I won't even go into the specifics of that. But the war on cancer, the war on drugs, the war on terror, always, always, always means that it's a plan to spend your money on something that they created. Right here. Like, for instance, put your money where the miracles are. How many of you seen these billboards? And this is a cancer hospital, Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Last time I checked, God did the miracles, not a cancer hospital. Right? And you'll see it'll usually be a bald kid with the nasal cannula sticking out of their nose, be playing on the heartstrings, right? It says donations from Walmart associates and customers support babies and kids treated at your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, cancer hospital for kids. Why do all the kids have cancer? We'll tell you, we'll show you. Next. Here's something. Oh, and a long time ago, going 24 West through Chattanooga, I saw this billboard, and I swear to you, it said, I can't find it. I looked all over for it, but it said this. It said, pushing the frontiers of cancer forward. And had I not been on a highway going 80 miles an hour, I would have pulled over and taken a picture of that thing. But I could have sworn, pushing the frontiers of cancer forward. Shouldn't it have said pushing the frontiers of cancer research forward? Couldn't find a picture of it. But here's another thing. Cancer used to be called cachexia, just another way of saying wasting away, right? Wasting away. It didn't mean you had tumors coming out of every orifice. It meant you just wasted away. You shrunk. You died, right? No one dies of cancer. I know this is a contentious point here. Don't shoot the messenger. But no one dies of cancer. I hear people missay this all the time. On a death certificate at a coroner, there are 4 ways you can die. Did you know that? 4 ways. Well, suicide, homicide, trauma, or natural causes. That's it. Now, however, natural causes include heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancer, all of the diseases that are unnatural causes. So really, all of those should be suicide, because they did it to themselves, right? Suicide, homicide. Suicide, you did it. Homicide, somebody else did it. Trauma, it was some kind of accident, nobody responsible. And then natural causes. Natural causes, meaning you just went to sleep, is what happened to cats in the Bible. They just went to sleep. But no one dies of cancer, they die of malnutrition. Because what does the cancer eat? Your nutrition. The cancer eats what you ate, right? And most people are eating what? Sugar. If they're at the nursing home, they're eating Ensure, which is what? Chocolate milk sugar, yes, right? So they die of malnutrition or they die of the treatment. So when you hear somebody say, so-and-so died of cancer, and I'm not disrespecting anybody's aunts or uncles or moms or kids. Understand me, it affected my family too. They die of malnutrition or the treatment. Now, here's something that'll blow your mind. I discovered this yesterday, and I figured it out, and the neighbors came running because they thought I was murdering somebody because I was doing cartwheels through my backyard. It was crazy. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Let's check this out, Jonathan. We'll check out these first couple of paragraphs here. St. Jude. Now, don't anybody read this. Hold on. In my Bible, and I've read it a number of times in the last, over the last half of my life. Don't be reading past me. I see you. I see all you people. Block this out, Jonathan. Block this out. But in the last half of my life, I've read through the Bible a number of times. I've never once seen popes, Vaticans, monks, monasteries, nuns, convents, rosary beads, purgatory, praying to saints, praying to Mary, any of it, in any book, in any of the Bible. However, here's how St. Jude's Children's Cancer Hospital got started. Okay. St. Jude was founded by entertainer Danny Thomas. How many of you remember Danny Thomas, comedian, 1962, with help from a dude. The idea resulted from a promise that Thomas, a Maronite Catholic, had made to a saint years before the hospital was founded. Keep in mind, I just punched this into I went to find out, where is St. Jude's? It's in Memphis. I didn't know that. Thomas was a comedian who was struggling to get a break in his career and living paycheck to paycheck. When his first child was about to be born, he attended Mass in Detroit. Nothing good happens in Detroit. I'm from Michigan, by the way. And put $7 in the offering bin. He prayed for intercession to St. Jude Thaddeus. I should hear gasps in this crowd. Keep reading. For a means to provide for his family. So he prayed for intercession to a saint, to a dead man. I should hear gasps. Why don't I? Let's do a collective gasp. Ready? There it is. Okay. And about a week later, he obtained a gig that paid 10 times what he'd put in the offering bin. After that time, Thomas believed in the power of prayer. He promised St. Jude Thaddeus that if the saint interceded for his success, he would one day build him a shrine. Years later, Thomas became an extremely successful comedian. That's how all the hands went up in this room, and built St. Jude Children's Research Hospital as a shrine to St. Jude Thaddeus to honor his promise. Now, although it was, where is it? Here it is. Memphis was chosen as the suggestion of Catholic Cardinal Samuel Stritch, a Tennessee native who had been a spiritual advisor to Thomas since he presided at Thomas's confirmation. Although it was named after Thomas's patron saint, St. Jude is not a Catholic hospital and is a secular institution not affiliated with any religious organization. So, when you see St. Jude Children's Hospital, I get stuff in the mail from them asking for money, right? It's a shrine to what? Huh? Right. Anybody in here who knows the Bible, what's it a shrine to? An idol. A dead man, which is when he's praying to St. Jude. Is he really praying to a man? No. What's he praying to? An idol, which is what? A demon. Sheep and goats. So I saw this. I about fell out of my chair. I did backflips across my yard, then the neighbor's yard, and then another neighbor's yard. I was like, holy crap. So St. Luke's, St. Mark's, St. Mary's, St. Jude's, is that how they all got formed? Unbelievable. I passed a church the other day coming back from Knoxville. It was the Episcopal Church of the Good Samaritan. I never heard of that. Who are they worshiping? Who are they praying to? So I'll say that again. Monks, monasteries, nuns, convents, rosary beads. I'm not griping. If you're Catholic, then get saved. If you're not, you better read your Bible, because none of that crap's in there. And this right here, that's how St. Jude's Cancer Research Hospital happened. Blew me away. All the others, I worked at a Catholic hospital. So most of the other hospitals started out Catholic or Methodist. A lot of the universities started out Catholic too, or Methodist, right? Christ Hospital Cancer Center. This one blew me away because I was driving through Cincinnati and I saw this billboard and I said, oh, revolutionary. It said revolutionary cancer treatment, something, something, something. And I thought, wow, they've got something new. There's a new thing. And it's Christ Hospital. This must be like Christian Cancer Center. This must be great. Look, Our specialists are changing the way cancer is treated by using a revolutionary approach that analyzes your genetic profile, your very own DNA, to develop a unique treatment plan that's most effective at treating your cancer. You see, your cancer is different than your cancer. And your cancer is different than your cancer. What does that mean? You've got different treatment for every person. It's called precision medicine. It's a promising breakthrough, replacing the traditional standardized treatment you'll find elsewhere. When you combine, this is where my heart broke, this highly personalized care with our great groundbreaking technology like the Edge, a new GPS-guided treatment to pinpoint and eliminate cancer without surgery, or IORT, one-day radiation treatment. It's a powerful combination now available to beat cancer in less time. So basically what this is saying, they're not doing radiation or, cutting, poisoning, or burning you. They're not doing radiation or chemo or surgery. They're doing radiation, chemo, and surgery at the same time. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So they're doing all three at once. Isn't that wonderful? Based on your unique genetics. So this is the stuff that people run into. Next, American Cancer Society. Let's check this out. I have to build a case. You've been indoctrinated. You've been lied to. All this crap. It's lies. American Cancer Society. Well, first of all, here's a sword. What's the handle of the sword? There's your first clue. Nationwide voluntary health organization dedicated to eliminating cancer. Established in 1913. What was happening in 1913? World War I, just getting ready to start. The processing of food, massively, removing the nutrients from food. Processed food, that's basically when it started. Organized into 6 geographical regions of both medical and lay volunteers, operating in 250 regional offices throughout the U.S. Global headquarters located in the American Cancer Society Center in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll show you something about that here in a minute. Founded May 22nd, 1913 by 10 physicians and 5, what does that say? I mean, it's right there. And believe me, I'm not just picking Wikipedia because it says what I want it to say. This is just what you can discover just looking on your own for 5 minutes, thinking critically. The current name was adopted in 1944. So that's, and understand this. If you look at a map of Atlanta, you will find Coca-Cola's right here. Right here is, what's the thing? Right across the street is CNN. North a little bit is the CDC. And right down here is the American Cancer Society. I mean, they're within 5 blocks of each other. Downtown Atlanta. Go look. Oh, did I do that? Oh, no. Oh, you don't have to look it up. No, you don't have to go there. But you can literally see, like within a 5-block radius, all for Coca-Cola, CNN, CDC, and the American Cancer Society, all within like 5 blocks. Anyway, you're just a coincidence denier, aren't you? So here's, we did that one. Okay, so here's the cancer.org. Check this one out. Unbelievable. So here's the American Cancer Society. Should I get screened for no symptoms? Check this out. Unbelievable. I'm building a case. Stick with me. Scroll down. Check this out. Cancer screening recommendations. If you're this age, you got a cervical cancer screening. If you're this age, you got to do your boobs, you got to do your cervix, you got to do your colon, you got to do your prostate. If you're this age, boobs, cervix, colon, lung, prostate.
Notice how they don't say women on the, it's people with a cervix.
Cervix.
What?
Oh, yeah. Are you good? Good pointed that out, yeah.
Cancel culture.
Right. So, and by the way, your doctors and your nurses and your medical staff, if they don't go along with the changing of the anatomy books and the physiology, because that's coming. They're changing the anatomy books. If they don't go along with it, their license goes bye-bye. If they don't bow to the transgender agenda, that's coming. It's coming. So that's why I'm sounding the alarm and blowing the proverbial shofar saying, exit stage left from the medical catastrophe that is about to occur. These are the same people who've been killing your babies for 100 years. These are the same people who are telling you that a dude can breastfeed and have a baby, people. Same people. Okay, so those are your screening recommendations. Now scroll down a little bit. Cancer screening, right here. I don't, scroll up a little bit. I don't have any symptoms. Do I still need to get screened? Yeah, screening tests are used to find cancer before a person has it. Our crystal ball will tell you exactly where it is and what we need to cut, poison, or burn out of you, right? If you got cancer or a diagnosis and you just spent 20 minutes looking, look at the stuff you would see. That's my point here. So it's important to get regular screenings, even if you're feeling fine. Cancer screening tests can catch some changes that may or may not be cancer. Somebody does not just get cancer one morning when they wake up. You develop it. You work hard for it. It's deterministic, right? I don't have a primary care doctor. Who should I talk to about screening? I don't know if I can pay for the test needed. How much does a cancer screening cost? Well, look at this. If you have health insurance, ask about coverage for cancer. Most screenings are covered by insurance or available at no cost. What did we just say? What did we just say about your insurance? The sickest people I see are sick because they have the best insurance policies. You get a yearly mammogram, you get a yearly camera up your butt, you're eventually going to have what? Cancer. Period. Period. All right. Now, here's the mission statement. But stay there because we're going to, well, you know what? Let's just go to the next bullet point there, Jonathan. The ACS is supported by biotech, cosmetics. Let's go here. Sorry. Mission statement. This is interesting. ACS. Mission statement used to be to find a cure. Then they changed it to allow cancer patients to live longer. Now, currently, it's to say, this is a heck of a mission statement, to save lives by helping people stay well, helping people get well, by finding cures and fighting back. That's the current missions. It went from this, very simple, to this. They're no longer, basically what this is saying is they're no longer looking because they know what's causing it. So what's the cure for cancer? You already know it. The whole reason we're addressing it with this class is so you can squelch, thank you. You can squelch those conversations where people say, well, they probably have a cure for cancer and they're just not letting it out. There never was a cure for cancer. There never will be a cure for cancer. The chemo and the radiation don't cure the cancer. The surgery doesn't cure the cancer. The cure for cancer is the cause. We'll discuss more of that here in a minute. But let's go to this ACS thing, supported by biotech, cosmetics, and processed food industries. Right here. Now we're going to go to this link. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I'm just throwing you all over the place, aren't I? But there's a lot of stuff here you guys need to see. So those who cause the cancer, this link here, and this is cancer.org as well. This is cancer. No, I'll let Jonathan get the link here. So those who cause the cancer, this is why ACS, the American Cancer Society, will never address the environmental components of what's causing the cancer. You want to know why? Right here. Check this out. Click on each category of partners across the top. So here's the visionaries, okay? These are their partners. In other words, this is where American Cancer Society gets its money. Here's who they partner with. What does Avon make? Chemical crap slathered on your eyes, ears, nose, throat, and everywhere on your body, ladies. What's Amgen? Genetics. Chevy, Kohl's, Nucor, IBM, Toll Brothers, Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield. There you go. We saw this. We saw that. What's that? Pharmaceuticals. Right? I don't know what that is. Okay, go back up to the top. Check this out. So interesting. Go to Pioneers. So, Abbott Laboratories, maker of Pediasure, Ensure, and Pedialyte, among other poisons with artificial sweeteners. Skank of America, Microchop, AstraZeneca. Does that sound familiar? We'll talk about Zeneca, one half of AstraZeneca, here in a minute. AstraZeneca. Does that sound familiar? Why, right? Why does that sound familiar? AstraZeneca. What did they just make? Correct. Hell's Cargo. Okay, let's go to the next category. I've got good ones for all the banks. Capital One, Skank of America, Hell's Cargo. Here's, I really don't know what some of these are. Perrigo, that's drugs. Healthcare products, that's out of, oh yeah, Lilly. What's Lilly? Eli Lilly?
Drug company.
Yeah, Allstate. What's Allstate? Insurance. Amazon. Bristol Myers Squibb. What do they make? GSK. GlaxoSmithKline. What do they make? Hormel Foods. Look at all the processed foods. Look at all the processed foods. Look at this. Okay, go to the next one. See where I'm going with this? All the companies that are financing the American Cancer Society are making what? The stuff that causes what? Hello? Yeah, look at this. Recognize any of those? Don't recognize that, do you? What's that one do? What's that one do? Right? What's that? Interesting, huh? Doesn't take a rocket scientist. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. The ACS is supported by money from the biotech companies that are creating the problem. Can't make it up. It's right there in front of your face if you want to see it. But if you don't want to see it, you'll never see it. Now you know why the American Cancer Society will never address the issue of environmental poisons, environmental chemicals. All they mentioned was what? Tobacco and radiation. They never mentioned toxic chemical personal care products made by Avon. They never mentioned processed food made by all the companies that were in there, right? Now, here's another one. You got this in your mailbox. I break this out and show this to people every once in a while because it's just too much for them to believe. But you get this in your mailbox. It's Hazardous Waste Collection Day. Saturday, this was from 2019. Let's go to the next page. Here's what they do. On this date, you can bring your crap to Bradley County Justice Center. It's all for Bradley County residents. There's no cost. And if it's a one-day collection event for household hazardous waste. If they're not disposed of properly, why do we do this? Many household toxics are extremely dangerous to the environment. Area residents will have an opportunity to rid homes of toxic waste safely. How many in this room have seen me do this before? You got this in your bill with your Cleveland Utilities bill. So, Toxic Waste Day, Hazardous Waste Collection Day, acceptable items. Automotive and marine products like oil and fuel additives. I know you can't read this. It was a shiny copy, so this was a little blurry. Oil and fuel additives, grease and rust solvents, starter fluids, body putty, gasoline. Obvious stuff that can't go in a landfill. Can't go in a landfill. Home maintenance, improvement products like oil-based paint, used strippers and thinners. They're just people. Why are you throwing them away? Just kidding. Adhesives, driveway sealant, roofing tar, wallpaper remover, stains and varnishes. Obvious stuff that you can't go into a landfill. We can't pollute the environment. Home lawn and garden products like pesticides, fertilizers, wood preservatives. Don't want those going in a landfill. Those are toxic. You can put them on the lawn, but you don't want them going in a landfill. That's toxic. Miscellaneous. Pool chemicals, photo processing chemicals, mercury thermostats and thermometers, medicines and drugs, aerosols, compressed gases, fluorescent tube. Wait a minute. This is in your mailbox. I'll read it again. Miscellaneous hazardous waste stuff. Pool chemicals, photo processing chemicals, mercury thermostats and thermometers, and medicines and drugs. What's the problem with that? You don't want them going in a landfill, but it's no problem to put them in your face. That's how toxic this stuff is and how lied to you've been your whole lives. All of us, not just you, me included. Your medicines and drugs are on Hazardous Waste Collection Day flyers stuffed in your mailbox. So when people come here and they say, well, I want my insurance to pay for everything. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because your insurance paid for that. And I'm pretty sure that's why you're sicker than hell right now. Let that sink in. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I got a story for this one. So this was October, a few years ago. I'm on Delta. In front of my face, 12 inches away, I'm seeing commercials for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. At the front of the plane, there's a stewardess, a flight attendant, all of them wearing pink head to toe. On the speaker overhead, the pilot is saying, thank you for flying with us during October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, blah, blah, blah. The flight attendants will have available for everyone pink lemonade and pink martinis. All of the donations, all of the proceeds will go towards the American Cancer Society. And I'm just sitting there like somebody dosed me with something really heavy. Because I'm sitting there going, I'm watching theater right now. I am hearing everyone on this plane is in a breast cancer cult right now. And the funniest thing was they're selling pink lemonade and pink martinis, which have what in them? Sugar and alcohol. And the best way to get daily, cancer is daily alcohol consumption, FYI. Number one way to get cancer. So that was interesting. Unbelievable. That was just one flight. I'm just sitting there going, is this really happening? I should probably get kicked off this flight just to avoid this nightmare. Alcohol sales are widely promoted. We just talked about that. If you do want cancer, drink a lot of alcohol. Relay for Life, workplaces and schools. I fell for this one. I got to admit, I organized this one a couple times. I fell for that. Then what else? Pink ribbons everywhere, from license plates to NFL players with pink cleats. I mean, think about that, the stupidity of that. You got an NFL dude wearing pink cleats. But everybody goes for it. And how much did that cost to buy those pink cleats for just that one game? Interesting, huh? Pink ribbon. I'm driving down Pigeon Forge. There's the Titanic. Y'all know what I'm talking about? There's the Titanic. What's on the side of the Titanic? A pink ribbon like 30 feet high. Where'd they get that? I don't know. If you want a really good chance of getting cancer, guys, get a camera stuffed up your butt. Women, you want a really good chance of cancer? Go get your boobs smushed between a couple of plates with ionizing radiation, and I guarantee you, you will have a fine case of cancer in just a few years. HPV vaccines, Gardasil, right? Because nowadays, anybody can get HPV. You want to know why they were giving the guys HPV vaccines for cervical cancer years ago? Because they were going to pitch to you that guys have cervixes. And they already have. Right? Boys can have babies now, right? You didn't know that? You're a bigot. Dermatology procedures. If you want to see very interesting stuff happening, you need to go check out a dermatology center. Everything's precancerous. You know, let's freeze it, let's cut it, let's fry it, let's dye it. Newscasters incessantly remind you to slather up. Sunscreen, we already talked about that. We invented sunscreen. Skin cancer went up 60%. Sunburn is a nutritional disorder just like cancer is. We'll answer questions about that later because I can tell you all that just put a few of you on tilt. We can answer that later. Easter baskets of candy during Easter. Passover, whatever you want to call it. Resurrection Day. How about that? How about Halloween? Baskets of candy. So the kids just get candy, right? Oncology centers springing up everywhere. There's 3 of them within a 2-mile radius of this office. My old office. There was, in the parking lot, there was an oncology center, a pediatric center, and a dialysis center, and my office. I was surrounded. Medicine says genes and germs, so now what are they doing with the genes and the germs, right? 23andMe, everybody's bound down, shipping their DNA off to someplace. Stupidity. Ancestry.com, they're getting nasal swabs, they're tracking your DNA, they're cataloging it in a database. Do not bow down to that. They're putting something there and they're taking something out. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Modern medicine has an abysmal rate of success with cancer. Well, no kidding, right? Answers are unavailable through traditional oncologists. Remember, these are all the ways we've been indoctrinated. Your drugs' side effects have been diagnosed as yet another disease to be treated with more what? Of course. Check this out, and we'll see. I'm going to show you how to find this later at the end of the day. So you can go home and you can check, hey mom, where's all your prescriptions? Show me what you got. And you can go to a website and you can see what she actually is experiencing that will then be diagnosed as another condition. I will show you. Oh, geez. Yeah. Vending machines, cancer center, full of soda candy bars. How do I know? I've seen them. Go to your nursing homes. See what they're feeding see what they're feeding your aunts and uncles. Next. Madame Curie invented X-rays in 1895 and died of aplastic anemia caused by radiation. You can't make this up. What do these names all have in common? German, Hitler, drugs, Nazis. Everybody just. People think it's a conspiracy. You know what? Go on the All Seeing Eyes information portal. Go to Wikipedia and just type in Operation Paperclip. You will see that 1,600 German scientists, engineers that we didn't want to kill, convicted of war crimes at Nuremberg, and they were immediately put in very prominent positions of power in the U.S. What happened to them? Right here. So I will show you this too. Censorship, suppression, deplatforming, they've all been widespread in the United States for 100 years. Flexner Report. I'm going to just blaze through this. Abraham Flexner was hired by John D. Rockefeller to evaluate the effectiveness of therapies being taught by medical colleges and institutions with the ultimate goal of dominating control of medicine with pharmaceuticals. Some of you have never heard of this, But you need to understand, this has been going on for a long time. It is not about your Facebook account, or it's not about us getting kicked off YouTube and Vimeo and everything else. Honey Bunny, this has been going on for a while. They've been trying to smash this for a long time. With partnerships including the steel guy, right, and the banker guy, a new doorkeeper would exist, the oil guy, to influence legislative bodies, because check this out. Check this out. The bankers need the steel guys to lay the railroads, but the railroad guys need the oil guys to do the coal and the oil and the gasoline, because you can't make the steel without the oil, and you can't have the oil and ship the oil without the steel and the railroads and the banks. Huh. Yeah. Doorkeeper would exist to influence legislative bodies at state and federal levels to create regulations and licensing red tape that strictly promoted drug medicines, while stifling and shutting down alternative, inexpensive, divine design, natural health remedies. Those medical colleges and institutions that did not submit to the superpower of regulation were crushed and put out of business. Very widely known. This is not some conspiracy. The Flexner Report was conveniently titled Medical Education in the United States and Canada. 22-page control mechanism was more or less a Teamsters union. Medical schools in the U.S. were cut in half, and by medical schools here, they mean naturopathic schools, medical schools, homeopathic schools, all that. So back then, everything was medicine, but not their type of medicine. Just like now, all these doctors that are speaking out against the clot shot bioweapon nanoparticle injection, they're speaking out. But they're doctors. Yeah, but they're not our kind of doctors. They're not saying what we want them to say. So medical schools in the U.S. were cut in half by the Flexner Report in less than 15 years, from 160 to 80, and then down below 70 by World War II. What does that mean? Easier to control. This concentrated control is the direct cause of the majority of problems with healthcare today. If you have not been introduced to that, there's the Flexner Report of 1910. That was something that was 110 years ago, and you're going to hear about a few doctors that you've probably never heard of before. But first, we will have a commercial break. Come on up.
All right. So this one says, when I started at Divine Design, I had 2 large uterine fibroids, which caused my abdomen to be about the size that it was when I was 8 months pregnant. This affected my ability to move, my balance, and my lifestyle in general. I even fell twice on a recent hike. After just 4 months at Divine Design, I've lost almost 30 pounds. My abdomen has shrunk 3.5 inches. My balance is better. I'm able to move with more confidence, and my overall quality of life has dramatically improved.
Yeah. Forget that. How many drugs can we put her on? Yeah. Let's check out some. Say what you meme and meme what you say. So when you take that shot for protection, but fear those who didn't take the shot. I love this. I'll read this for the back. This is one of the greatest memes. When your dad shows up for career day and tells everyone he battles an ancient satanic cult of pedophile elites through memes. Hold on, come back. He's losing it. And this girl in the back is like, what did he just say? Her look on her face. Oh, if you are not in the meme wars, you need to be. I'm telling you, it's a fun time. Oh, yeah. Pablo, me waiting to die because I'm unvaccinated and don't wear a mask. He just doesn't care. Pablo Escobar. Okay, great. Just to be perfectly clear, if you know what's going on, but you're not speaking up or joining the resistance because you're living your life, you're not actually living your life. You're making the most of the life you have left. Absolutely. People are like, well, I want to get along with everyone. No, that's why you're in this mess. With each passing day, more and more people are waking up to the reality that the medical establishment has been a threat to human health for a very long time. Amen. And while many try to prop up this dying, rotted, decaying, demonic, witchcraft, black magic system, nothing can stop what's coming. Truth will prevail. Good guys win. Guess what? Yep, there's the science. There's the science. Absolutely. When you realize that all of your nutrition books in grade school, high school, college, grad school, you realize all your teaching about pharmaceuticals, everything you've ever learned was all sponsored by the same companies as what gives the money to ACS. That's it. Next. All I had to do was threaten their jobs. They took the mark. This is one of my favorites. 2023 in the future. People with all 5 boosters, people with only 2, and there's me still not vaccinated. Oh, she's just 5 to 2. Just right around the corner. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're never fully vaccinated.
No.
You are never fully vaccinated. Next. My kid's school, this is from a mother, an MD who's a mom. My kid's school sent a note saying they can wear Halloween costumes to school tomorrow as long as they don't cover the face because it will hinder the learning environment. I was waiting for the punchline at the end, but apparently they didn't see the irony. I mean, it's a clown show. It's an absolute goat rodeo. Here you go. Here's some names you need to know. Dr. Royal Raymond Rife. 1930s. This dude was 100 years ahead of his time. Check this out. Microbiologist who discovered vibratory frequencies of microorganisms. He cured 16 out of 16 terminal cancer patients. Laboratory, research, inventory, equipment destroyed after refusing to sell out to the AMA. Killed by lethal dose of Valium and alcohol. If you're caught with a Rife machine today, immediately to prison you go. Apparently. I haven't tried it yet. However, vibratory frequencies of microorganisms. He was a sound engineer who figured this out. Okay? He was basing his work on the whole opera singer hitting a certain frequency in the wine glass, kind of, is it live or is it Memorex explosion, right? So he was into sound, and he knew, like in the beginning, God said, right? Energy, there's your electromagnetic spectrum. Let there be light. Everything you see, everything you hear is on an electromagnetic spectrum of energy that God spoke into existence in the very first sentence of Genesis. In the beginning, God said, audio, let there be light. Visual, audio-visual spectrum. Boom, right there. So, discovered the vibratory frequencies of microorganisms. Royal Raymond Rife. You know, the laser we use in this clinic is based upon his work. Cool. FYI. Frequencies, octaves, harmonics of sound versus light. Now you knew part of what's behind the laser. All right, so Royal Rife, he ate it. Max Gerson, some of you in here know him. You should. He's a German Jew who fled to New York City during World War II. His therapy of pure organic food, juicing, and coffee enemas caught the attention of 2 U.S. senators. I mean, very complicated, very expensive stuff. Very dangerous. Claude Pepper and Matthew Neely were the 2 senators. Both proposed an anti-cancer bill to appropriate $100 million to cure cancer. So Senator Pepper invited Dr. Gerson to speak at the Senate meetings. Gerson brought along 5 cured patients representing the 5 most common and fatal types of cancer. Remember those cancers we pointed out at the most common, like lung, brain, kidney, you know, all that. Except what's the one organ that you'll never see that has cancer ever? Say it out louder. We taught that in a heart class a while back. Why? Because the heart gets the nutrition first. That's how you know cancer is a nutritional disease. Boom, let that sink in. So Senator Pepper invited him to speak at the Senate meetings. Gerson brought 5 cured patients representing the 5 most common and fatal types of cancer. At a press conference the following day, a journalist with ABC News devoted an entire ABC broadcast to Gerson's therapy. Big news, huh? Check this out. July 3rd, 46. Journalists announced on radio that for the first time in history, a cure for cancer had been found. 2 weeks later, he was fired. The Pepper-Neely anti-cancer bill was defeated, and both senators lost the next election. You think this election was rigged?
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
On March 8th, 1959, Gerson mysteriously died of arsenic poisoning. Charlotte Gerson, his daughter, now took the mantle and carries it forward. Max Gerson mysteriously died of arsenic poison. He was a nutrition guy, but somehow he got his coffee enemas confused with his arsenic. Taught a class a long time ago called Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Sleep, or Dirty Docs Done Dirt Sleep. And it was all about all the naturopathic, homeopathic, holistic, chiropractic, medical, and even medical doctors, all the natural doctors who've been killed within the last 6 years. There are over 100, 150 of them now. We did that one. We didn't put it online. It's if you want to see that, we can send it to you. It just won't be on any of the major platforms. But I did a whole expose on here's what's happening to the natural health doctors. So that's my camera confessional that if you find me Jeffrey Epstein, I did not Jeffrey Epstein myself. Dr. Harry Hoxsey in the 1950s. Brandon Hoxsey Cancer Clinic in Dallas utilized tonic developed by his grandfather when he saw sick horses grazing on shrubs. Licorice, red clover, burdock root, cylinder root, burberry, cascara, pokeweed, prickly ash bark. You know what? We have the liquid form or the herbal form of every one of those things in this office. Treated cancer for 30 years. By the 50s, the Hoxsey Cancer Clinic in Dallas was the world's largest private cancer center with branches in 17 states. Never heard of this guy? Raise your hand if you've heard of this guy. Nobody in this room? Raise your hand if you heard of Royal Rife. 2 of you. 3, 4, okay, maybe 5. Raise your hand if you had heard of Max Gerson. 2 people, 3 people, 4, 5, 6 people. Okay, Harry Hoxsey. Never heard of him? Nobody in this room? Harry Hoxsey refused when the AMA tried to purchase his tonic. Morris Fishbein, editor of the Journal of the American Medical Association, which you'll hear of here in a little while, we'll talk about the JAMA again, published articles claiming that the tonic was nothing more than a worthless bottle of colored water made from backyard weeds. Well, those backyard weeds are pretty powerful, aren't they? Yeah. We spray the dandelions because you don't like the way they look, but you know what people are doing now for this whole bioweapon that was dropped? What's one of the top things they're doing? Dandelion tea. Yeah. It's not a weed. It's not a weed. It's a plant God put there for a reason. You've been taught it was a weed and spray your whole yard with Roundup. Right. And then you're wondering why your dog has kidney cancer. Right? They're a lot closer to the poison that you just sprayed. Think about it, X-Lax. He was arrested over 200 times for practicing medicine without a license. And eventually, all U.S. clinics were shut down and the Dallas Center moved to Tijuana. Shacked up with Gerson. Pretty crazy that you have to go to see a dog and pony show in Tijuana to get your cancer treated. You choking on a dog and pony show back there? No? Okay. Next. Benedict Fitzgerald, 1953. 1948, however, Senator Charles Tobey was diagnosed with terminal cancer and opted for a natural treatment in which he recovered completely for a total cost of $5. This is 1948. Now remember what this was 53. We were kind of going in chronological order. His father, another senator, contacted over 100 researchers from the AMA, but there was no interest in learning about the treatment. Senator Tobey enlisted Benedict Fitzgerald, who was an investigator for the Interstate Commerce Commission, to discern the reason behind this disinterest. Isn't this interesting? So, Benedict Fitzgerald made the Fitzgerald report and presented it to the Senate. And here's a quote. You will never see this. You will never see this. My investigation should convince this committee that a conspiracy, a word you can't mention anymore, does exist to stop the free flow and use of drugs in interstate commerce, which allegedly have solid therapeutic value. Now back up a minute, because in medicine, even vitamins, herbs, supplements, everything in medicine, everything is considered a drug. So he's saying, you'll see this here in a minute, he's saying that the use of anything medicinal, anything that can help people, he calls it a drug. Okay? Public and private funds have been, know that this is him, this is a quote. Public and private funds have been thrown around like confetti at a county fair to close up and what? Destroy clinics, hospitals, and scientific research laboratories which do not conform to the viewpoint of medical associations. Like those 3 guys I just showed you. How many others that you've never heard of? Royal Rife, Max Gerson, Harry Hoxsey. Next. So as a summary, the collusion and actual conspiracy was between the FDA, which used to be called what? Does anyone know the old name of the FDA? The Bureau of Chemistry.
It's the Federal Death Administration.
Was between the FDA, the patent medicine companies, read that, pharmaceutical companies, because what does patent mean? Patent medicine companies? What does that mean? There's a patent on it. You can't patent nature, but you can patent something that man created. So like genetically modified tomatoes, you can patent that. Genetically modified humans, there's a patent for that. So between the FDA, the pharmaceutical companies, and the American Medical Association. Are you seeing a pattern here? Check this out. Suppression of natural plant medicines in the 1930s. Cannabis may have the most anti-cancer potential of any plant ever documented. How many of you know that? I taught a whole class, 2-hour class on the ABCs of CBD, like 3 years ago. It may be out there somewhere. Ask Nadia, we'll send it to you. Our ancestors used canvas for clothing and covered wagons. Canvas comes from the word cannabis. What could you put under just by what industries were standing to lose billions of dollars if cannabis, which is a weed, which grows like a weed, it's called a weed because it grows like a weed. What industries were standing to lose a lot of money? Here goes. It lasts longer than cotton or polyester. Other uses include, well, you'd put out the paper mills, you'd put out some food, you'd put out some building materials because you can make some pretty cheap building materials when stuff grows like a weed, but it takes a tree 80 or 90 years to grow. You follow me? In addition to medicinal cannabinoids, other uses. So if we use medicinal cannabinoids, the petrochemical pharmaceutical industry would be decimated. So in the 1930s, William Randolph Hearst, who ran a paper manufacturing division of Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark's still around. You're in a public restroom and you're at your hand dryer or you're at your paper towel machine, you'll look down and you'll see that name, still to this day. Owned vast acreage of timberlands. They stood to lose billions because of cannabis. So in 1937, DuPont, what does DuPont make? Chemicals, paint, tape, adhesives, everything. They patented polyester. Polyester comes from what substance? Oil. The witch hunt against cannabis began. What do I mean by that? Well, we're the only country in the world that calls cannabis marijuana because Mary and Juan at the time were the most common Hispanic names. And at the time, we had a lot of immigrants coming into Mexico. So they said, well, let's just make it Mary and Juan, Mary and John in English, to make it sound like a dirty Mexican immigrant name. That was they made it a racial thing. They wanted to make it sound like a dirty immigrant name because of the tension between the U.S. and Mexico at the time. So we're the only country that calls it marijuana. It's nuts, isn't it? So DuPont patented polyester and the processes to make synthetics such as plastic, cellophane, celluloid, methanol, nylon, rayon, Dacron, all the stuff that you are wearing on your feet, your purses, your spandex, your yoga pants, your lycra, your rayon, your nylon, all of it comes from what? Does anyone in here own any pants made out of hemp? No. Next. Cannabis, a plant found worldwide, declared a dangerous drug with reefer madness, declaring it a gateway drug that turns one into a murderous criminal. I saw it. They showed it to me in school. But it regenerates neurons, it dilates your bronchioles, and it dilates your veins and your blood vessels. It's the only substance to do all of that. See the importance of it? Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, blood pressure. See what I mean? Each year, 100,000 Americans die from prescription drugs. There has never been a recorded death from cannabis. So they legalized it because now we can tax it and regulate it. It's wonderful, isn't it? And on that note, commercial break, and we're almost done. Come on up.
All right. So this patient says, before Divine Design, I found myself with extreme pain and swelling on my right side. When I asked my doctor at the time about it, he said it sounded like my gallbladder and recommended a scan that would cost me $800, and then we would be considering removal surgery. He told me it was okay because his family had all had theirs removed and they were fine and just had to watch what they ate.
This is the doctor.
Yes, this was her doctor.
Right.
She said after the surgery was thrown in my face, I started at Divine Design, and after just a few weeks, my gallbladder pain and swelling had drastically reduced and is almost completely gone. Divine Design not only saved me $800, more importantly, they saved me my gallbladder.
Historically and statistically, right after somebody gets their gallbladder removed, what happens right after that? Hysterectomy. Yes. How'd you know that? Oh, yeah. Never mind. All right. Say what you mean what you say. One of the greatest memes. Remember when your mother and grandmother died when they were babies because they didn't get 69 doses of 16 vaccines? It means it's working. Ha ha ha. Enjoy your horse paste as she loses her hair, gets a few more injections. Get boosted or no Christmas. God. It's comical. It's sad, but you have to laugh or else you'll lose your mind. So do I risk a mild cold or flu from which I have a 99% chance of recovery, or do I risk blood clots, thrombosis, aneurysms, amputations, strokes, seizures, paralysis, Bell's palsy, myocarditis, pericarditis, blindness, infertility, sterility, and death? Decisions. So, 2 elderly high-risk men don't have to wear masks, but my 7-year-old does? Got it. Unbelievable, right? When, you're looking at humanoid-like creatures with dark souls of demons. When I look at that, I can't help, it breaks my heart, but at the same time, I just go, God, they look just like us, don't they? Next. I'm a proud member of the LGBTFJB community. Wow, that did not get the laugh I was thinking. Does no one get that?
Say all the words.
Let's go, Brandon F. Joe Biden. Let's go, Brandon. Next. Some of you got that one. Not just the highlighting, but some of you know. Okay, next. This is not the end of the world. It's the end of the illusion. Right on. You not wearing a mask puts myself and family at risk. Your obedience to elite pedophiles, criminal government, farm of cartel, corrupt media, and dark agenda puts myself and my family at risk. You piece of crap. Next. If your vaccine doesn't protect you, how's my vaccine going to protect you? Comical, right? Comical. So here, woke versus AMA. How many of you in the room have ever heard of this? 1. Raise your hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm ashamed of everyone in here who's a patient who doesn't remember this. Are you serious? Yeah, you have. All of you in here who've ever been a patient. You watched a documentary about this. Raise your hand if you've heard of this. Oh, now more hands go up. Oh. Okay, woke versus AMA, American Medical Association. 1987, 4 chiropractors from Illinois, particularly Chester Woke, took the entire AMA to court after receiving many boxes of legal evidence from an anonymous source. Sound familiar? The AMA was found guilty of actually having a branch within their organization whose specific purpose was to contain and eliminate the profession of chiropractic as a profession, quote unquote, through the use of propaganda disseminated to medical doctors, medical schools, and insurance companies. Is this starting to sound familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Federal District Court Judge Susan Getzendanner found the AMA guilty of what word is that?
Conspiracy.
Yes. Next. Every patient at divine design, or we should say cosmic accident, unnatural death, has already been familiarized with this case in the documentary entitled Doctored, which you viewed on your very first day. So this was a conspiracy, and here's the actual court document, the actual permanent injunction order against the AMA, and some of this I'm going to read to you right here. So right here it says this. I know it's hard for you to see this, but just get this. It's the only thing I'm going to read, this right here. In the early 1960s, the AMA decided to contain and eliminate chiropractic as a profession. This is the court document. The largest natural health care system in the world, the highest number of doctors, the highest number all throughout the world, chiropractors. They wanted to go for the chiropractors because they knew if they took out the chiropractors, who else would fall? Your homeopaths, your naturopaths, everybody else. Your acupuncturists. If we take down the chiropractors, everybody else eats it. They go down the toilet, everybody goes down the toilet. Then if chiropractors are gone, what do you have left for healthcare? I'll tell you, drugs and surgery.
Yep.
That's it, by law, by license. So, I keep reading. In 1963, the AMA Committee on Quackery was formed. Some of you know the origin of the word quack. The committee worked aggressively, both covertly and overtly, meaning out in the open and behind closed doors, to eliminate chiropractic. One of the principal means used by the AMA to achieve its goal was to make it unethical for medical physicians to professionally associate with chiropractors. That means you couldn't take or give referrals to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor could not take or give referrals to a medical doctor, right? Because God forbid we do something that's right for the patient. Crazy, huh? Under Principle 3 of the AMA's Principles of Medical Ethics, it was unethical for a physician to associate with an unscientific practitioner, meaning chiropractors. And in 1966, the AMA's House of Delegates passed a resolution calling chiropractic an unscientific cult. What was happening at about the same time in U.S. history? Late 60s, early 70s. Remember Jonestown? Remember Charles Manson? So that word, C-U-L-T, that word was very, very, very emblazoned across the public consciousness. So this right here is the document. I have it right here. This is the court, the injunction saying what they're going to have to do. What are they going to have to do? Well, they have to be, DCs have to be able to refer back and forth to MDs. They have to publish the letter, publish this in the Journal of the American Medical Association, and they have to send out letters, copies, to every single person who's in the AMA and every medical student saying, okay, it's good, it's okay for you guys to talk to and refer to chiropractors now. What happened in the 80s after that court case? Chiropractic blew up because then insurance got in on chiropractic. So people, first thing they say is, do you take my insurance? Absolutely not. Never will, never have. Never taken a dime of insurance money, and you shouldn't either. Because insurance will dictate what you get. The pharmaceutical companies will dictate what the insurance companies allow you to have. Your doctor is cut out of it. And then the companies will turn you and the doctor against each other because, well, you're not in network with my lab. And so I have to pay for this. Well, hey, it's the insurance company, third party between you and me. What other industry does that? None. Zero. No one. Ever. Perfect. That's who rules your healthcare, right? Okay, so there's that. So in absolute, complete and total summary, here it is. Your doctor's legal license allows two things: drugs and surgery. That's it. And when I say doctor, I say medical doctor. Procedures will eventually lead to one of the above. What do I mean? Camera up your butt. What are they looking for?
Cancer.
Which they're going to do what with?
Drug you.
Camera down your throat. What are they looking for? How are they going to treat it? You see the pattern? Okay, so you have back pain. They give you a procedure. They say, well, we're going to have do a CAT scan or an X-ray or an MRI, whatever, fill in the blank. We're going to do PET scan, whatever. What are they looking for?
Cancer.
What are they going to do with it?
Drugs and surgery.
You go into the ER with chest pain. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? X-ray and CAT scan. What are they going to be looking for? Something they can drug or something they can cut. Get over it. Wake up. Tell everyone you know. It's that simple. It's that simple. Well, I don't want the drugs. Well, good. Why are you going to the doc in the box? Why are you going to the ER? If you don't want the drugs and surgery, honey, you're in the wrong place. Does that make sense? Tell everyone you know, because they don't get it. They have no idea. So here it is. The cure is the cause. You already determined it from the National Cancer Institute, the American Cancer Society. You determined it from St. Jude's. You determined it in Memphis, Tennessee. You determined it from the Christ Cancer Center Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. You determined all of the cancers coming from this and this. Interesting, huh? Cancer is the effect, not the cause. Cancer is the response, not the disease. Cancer is the symptom, not the source. Hello? So how many people, well, I got to go get tested for my cancer, see if it came back. Well, I guarantee you go get tested for it. What's eventually going to happen? It's going to come back. So, what is chemotherapy? If you know the cure is the cause and you know the two causes of it, this is what breaks down the chemicals and the radiation. That's what breaks down your DNA so that the cells just keep going and going and going and going. How do you fix it? Here's the solution. Well, here's a little intro to one of the non-solutions. What's chemotherapy? Well, think about it. If healthcare is actually disease treatment, it's not healthcare. Don't call it healthcare. Don't call drugs and surgery healthcare. It's not. Barring emergencies. But if healthcare is actually just disease treatment, what sense is there in treating your condition with more of what actually caused it in the first place? Discovery of chemotherapy in the 1940s Italy. Postmortem autopsies of nitrogen mustard gas victims showed decreased lymphocytes. Doctors got the bright idea to treat lymphoma and leukemia with mustard gas. Chemotherapy was born. That's it, in the simplicity of it. So when people say, I'm going in for chemo, chemotherapy is destruction of the immune system. What did the American Cancer Society, what did the National Cancer Institute, what did cancer.gov say was one of the causes of cancer? Immunosuppressive drugs. Anything that takes your immune system down. What else takes your immune system down? Crappy food, chemicals, stress, sugar. Your immune system goes down, boom, you're wide open. How many people get diagnosed with cancer after a major uproar in their life or a major emotional trauma, and then boom, they get diagnosed? You know people. You know people. Your immune system goes down, honey, you're hit. Chemotherapy is destruction of the immune system in someone who already has a compromised immune system. It makes no sense. This accounts for the fact that 97% of people who receive chemo are dead within 5 years. Check this out. So what are some of the chemicals? Well, but look at the word, chemotherapy. What does the word actually mean? Chemical therapy. Go back a couple slides there, Jonathan. What causes cancer?
Radiation.
Go back. What causes cancer? So if you get cancer, we're going to give you chemo or what? Radiation. I want you to see this. I want you to think this out. We know that this causes cancer, but here's the main take-home message. If you get cancer, how's it going to be treated?
More stuff to give you.
It defies logic, people. It's simple. The truth is always simple. If something is complex, hard to understand, it's not true. Let that sink in. If you're told that it's all about your genetics, they're lying to you. Next, chemicals. So what chemicals do you have to watch out for? Oh, where do I start? Chemicalized food substances, all your fast food, all that crap, all the MSG, all the garbage, all the preservatives, all the crap in your crappy food. And you know what it is? Bags, cans, boxes, fast food, frozen crap. You know what it is. You already know. Sugar in its many varied forms. Sugar, what are we talking about? Wheat, oats, corn, soy, all the crappy bagels and the pastas. Basically, what your kids eat for breakfast, what you find at a continental breakfast in a hotel, what's in the vending machines, what they serve the kids at school, basically that. Sugar in its very many varied forms. This is what we teach people to avoid when they first start out as a patient, because nobody knows this. Artificial sweeteners, great way to kill yourself. Non-stick pots and pans. So that Teflon, guess where it goes? When you're fixing your eggs. Teflon and copper and all that nonsense. All the crap they advertise on TV late at night. All the groundbreaking new NASA technology crap pans that they want you to cook your food in. Industrial pollution. Environmental chemicals, right? Fluoridated water, radioactively colored sports drinks. That red 5 and yellow 2 or whatever. Genetically modified organisms. How do we know? Because we're changing the seed of the plants and the animals. And then your body digests whatever and doesn't recognize some of the proteins in that genetically modified seed, and you come down with some kind of thing that's going to be diagnosed and treated with drugs or surgery. We know that genetically modified organisms cause cancer in laboratory animals. We know that. How do we also know that, how do we figure out a lot of cancer stuff, or how do we figure out a lot of nutrition stuff? Because we figured it out in animals. When was the last time you saw a herd of cattle die? We figured out how to not let the cattle, the money-making animals, we figured out how to not let the chickens die. What's the key? What we feed them. Pesticides and herbicides, over-the-counter and prescription pharmaceuticals, carcinogenic personal care products, ladies, all your hair dyes, all your soaps, shampoos, all your mouthwashes, all your toothpaste, all that crap from Procter & Gamble. Your parents used to tell you it was a satanic company with a bunch of crap, and you used to think they were crazy. They were right. Carcinogenic cleaning supplies, all the Windex and all the cleaner and the polish and the garbage and the nails salons and the pedicures and the manicures and the crap you put on and in your body. And then there's always that suicide, clot shot, gene modification, bioweapon injection, and other chemical depopulants. And then, of course, here's the radiation. X-rays, CAT scans, PET scans, MRIs are magnetic. So there's not as much radiation, if any, compared to CAT scans and X-rays. But every time you get an X-ray, what happens? You get radiated. Why do you go to a dentist and they put a lead blanket across your organs?
And they won't do it to kids.
And they won't do it to kids. And when they go click the button, what are they standing behind? A wall that has what in it? Lead. That's why when people come here and they go, you don't do X-rays? I go, absolutely not. I don't want to radiate you or me. Put a $300,000 X-ray unit in here to radiate people when I'm teaching people how not to get cancer? You're stupid. And I could send somebody to 5 places in this town where they can radiate them if I need to. Cleveland Imaging. I can shove a camera up your butt. We can do X-rays. We can do CAT scans. We can do blood. We can do any of that crap. We can send you for an ultrasound if you want to get your head examined. Some people I recommend they should. But we can send you to Cleveland Imaging and you can go get the stuff in minutes. Why would I put an X-ray unit in here, right? Radioactive injections for contrast imaging. You know the crap they pump in you before they light you up like a Christmas tree? It's radioactive. Ha! Unbelievable, right? Oh, and by the way, sugar in its varied forms, remember, it shrinks your brain. Remember that. Statins, antibiotics, frequency. Oh, yeah. So dentists, yeah. Okay. Sonograms, ultrasounds, all that crap. Other medical procedures. Cell phones, Wi-Fi, wireless technology, such as 5G. You want to know about that? Come to the one in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about the 5G pentagram. People have no idea what that is. And we've been preaching about it for years, the 5G thing. Who in this room ever needed to download faster? They're selling it to you like it's all about downloading stuff faster. Aren't you already watching Netflix every night? It's downloading just fine. It's a lie. It's not about downloading crap faster. It's about projecting frequencies and controlling people, controlling moods. There's patents on this stuff. They just did it in Houston on Friday night. People think it's for downloading speeds. No. Oh, what was the last one? Yeah, there you go. Microwaves. So you got your processed food-like substances with chemicals and artificial stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to nuke it, and then you're going to eat it. Get rid of your microwave. All right, so here's Zeneca. Check this out. The later half of AstraZeneca. Here's Zeneca. We're almost done. Sole multi-million-dollar funder, I should say, of the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month since 1984. I'm building a case here. You're going to love this. Sole manufacturer of tamoxifen, the world's top-selling anti-cancer drug. Which causes cancer. Manager of 11 cancer centers in U.S. hospitals. Here is how we find any drug you want. Just go to drugs.com. Type in the drug. Drugs.com is not a chiropractor natural health site. It's a pharmaceutical medication site. So you can go there and type in tamoxifen or type in Lipitor or type in Celebrex or type in whatever Adderall or whatever crap you're on or your friend or your family. You just go to that website, drugs.com. It's simple, easy to remember. Type in the drug that they're on and this will come up. And you can type on uses, warnings, side effects, dosage, interactions, all that crap. So what is tamoxifen? Tamoxifen blocks the actions of estrogen, a female hormone. Get this is very important. Certain types of breast cancer require estrogen to grow. Tamoxifen is used to treat some types of breast cancer in men and women. When men get breast cancer? Now they do. Tamoxifen is also used to lower a woman's chance of developing breast cancer if she's high risk. So hold on. Blocks the actions of estrogen. Where is estrogen found these days? The plastics, the sodas, the drinks, the styrofoam cups, your nonstick pans, all the crap that we just showed you. Everything in this world is meant to drive up estrogen, which is going to do what to young developing males? It's going to confuse them as to what bathroom to pee in.
Yep, that's right.
Today I read a stat, 40% of 18 to 24-year-olds identify as LGBT. 40%. What is that going to do to the population rate? Unbelievable. So here's, you guys think it's all just, it's all fun and games till somebody gets a rainbow poked out, right? So check this out. What is tamoxifen? Go down to the warnings, go down to the side effects. Oh, hold on. Go up a little bit. It was right here. Oh, up. Yeah, do not use tamoxifen if you're pregnant. It could harm the unborn baby. What's wrong with that sentence? It could harm the unborn baby, but what was it going to hurt you at all?
No.
See how they put it right there? And you just glance right past it? If it's going to kill the unborn baby, what's it going to do to you, woman? Think about it. Next. Or go down a little bit to the side effects. I really want you to see this because this is what you can do with any drug. You can do this with any drug here. You can show your parents. May harm an unborn baby. Keep going. Go down to the side effects. How should I take it? Never. What happens if I miss a dose? You live longer. What happens if I overdose? Side effects. Tamoxifen increases your risk of stroke or blood clots. Call your doctor at once if you have signs of stroke, signs of a blood clot in the lung, signs of blood clot deep in the body, unusual vaginal bleeding, eye pain, redness, seeing halos around lights, changes in your menstrual periods, pain or pressure in your pelvic area, a new breast lump. What? A new breast lump. Liver problems, high blood calcium. You can do this with any drug, and it will show you what the side effects are. So now you can do overlaid acrostic of the 27 medications that your mom or your dad are on, and you can go, oh, mom, dad, your headaches could be caused by any one of the 27 medications you're on. It says right here, you could have high blood pressure, low blood pressure. You could have hypothyroid, hyperthyroid. You could have high blood sugar, low blood sugar. It's going to affect you differently, right? So you can do this with any drug. All right, so the only cancer prevention strategies made available to you by the current system, here you go. The only way you're going to fix cancer, you're going to find it, or you're going to prevent it, I should say. We already determined how you're going to treat it. You're going to drug it, you're going to cut it, or you're going to burn it. That's it. You're going to cut it out, you're going to drug it, or you're going to radiate it. Or if you're at the Christ Cancer Hospital, you can do all three at once. But mammography, sun avoidance, and vaccines. Do those sound like good options to you now? Radiation, avoiding vitamin D, which will decrease your immune system, which will increase the chances of what? And vaccines, which are toxic heavy metals, chemicals, food particles, which is why all your kids have allergies to peanuts and milk, by the way, and a whole lot of other crap. Bacteria, virus, fungus, parasite, heavy metals, toxic chemicals, a scar. It has all 5 major stressors, chemical stressors to the human body in one substance. And you can see that vaccines, what they don't want you to know, book on the table out front, which is like this. And that's all published pharmaceutical research. Not just me. Okay, so here's what we do. Oh, commercial break. Here we go, and we're almost done. And then we'll answer some questions. Boom, there we go. Oh, we're almost there.
All right, this one says, before finding Divine Design, I spent most of my life trying quick fad diets and following advice from people on TV for my health with little to no results or success. Now that I've been a patient at Divine Design, I realized my family and I were not aware of how deceived we truly were. I've learned so much about my body and how God wants me to take care of it. Being here has also strengthened me spiritually. I am now sharing with others to show them that the health that God, not the government, has intended for them.
Right on. Yeah, it's either God created you or the government's going to improve you. Remember that. All right, mean what you say. This is too nuts. This is COVID vaccines here, no appointment needed. Don't forget to donate your children's organs. That's real. That's real. And that's Mass General Brigham. I can't wait to ask Jim and Linda about that. That's where they used to work. Go back. What do you notice about the people here? Yeah, but beyond that. I see blacks and Asians. I don't see any white dudes. Weird, huh? Just interesting, because we're being made out to be the criminals now. You know that, right? Remember, when you were 5 years old, had to show your papers? Me neither. I wasn't alive in 39 Germany. Crazy, huh? This is the best meme ever. Vaccinated and unvaccinated people have one thing in common. Neither will ever be fully vaccinated. It's the best meme. Everybody should take a picture of that. We'll hold on for a minute if you want to. Hurry up, hurry up. Chop, chop, chop. 1, 2, 3. We got some memeing to do, people. Come on. But that right there, that's never going to go away. We said it in March of last year. We predicted it. We knew where this was going. How did we know where this was going? Because I read their books. They publish it. They tell you what they're going to do. The next big thing is the internet thing. Cyber Polygon, you know what's up with that, right? Next. Daddy, what did you do when the state took all our freedom and rights away? I obeyed without questioning. I informed on my neighbors, and I clapped like a monkey. Oh, and by the way, that last one, you do know there are 109 booster shots in the pipeline right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, of course. That last one, there are 109 booster shots in the pipeline right now. They're never going to stop. If we don't take them out, they are never going to stop. Interesting quote from A Bug's Life. How many of you have seen this? You let one ant stand up to us. This is a bad guy talking. And they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. If we ever let them figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. Unbelievable. Next. We see your Great Reset, raise you a Great Awakening. In the U.S., we have a candy holiday, Halloween, followed by a pie holiday, Thanksgiving, a cookies and candy holiday, Christmas, before a boozer New Year's Eve holiday, and we call it flu season rather than sugar poisoning season. There's no such thing as flu season. There is no such thing as flu season. There is no such thing as flu season. No such thing. Does everyone understand? Yeah. There is no such thing as flu season. They will always tell you there's a new flu strain coming out to push a new vaccine on you because medicine always says it's germs or it's genes. If you have a new non-existent flu happening every year, you're always going to have a product to sell to somebody because it's always going to mutate. It's always going to mutate. What they're going to drop on you next? Marburg virus. You heard it here. You heard it here. Marburg, M-A-R-B-U-R-G. Look it up. That's coming. That's Ebola, and that really will kill people. That really will kill people. Unless your immune system, unless you're up here, then you're impervious. Nothing can touch you. You have faith and not fear. If you know what you're doing. That's why we only have one person in this whole practice that's vaccinated. Because you know what she never did? She never sat in this class. That's how she slipped through the cracks. So all you people out there wondering, why do we now require that you watch the classes? Because of her. Because I don't want that blood on my hands. While the world is trusting this, my trust fully rests here.
Amen.
Yep. It's either God or the government, people. You decide. Yep. Sheeps and goats. Common rebuttals. I got cancer back in 2012. You don't just get cancer. You work at it, my friend. You put hard effort, blood, sweat, and tears into getting cancer. You earn it through serious work and unbridled determination. I'm cancer-free now. See, this is what you can, you're always going to hear this stuff. Oh, I went to a cancer class the other day. Oh, I got cancer back in 2012. I'm cancer-free now. Really? Check this out. When it comes back, it's because it never left. Yep. I'm in remission. No, you're not. That's what you've been told. I understand that's what you've been told. But unless you change behavior, that crap is going to come back stronger with 7 of its buddies. They got all the tumor during my surgery. That's impossible. Why? Systemic. Cells are microscopic, people. A knife can't take microscopic stuff. And it's throughout your whole body. If it's in a tumor in your body, it's not like it's just walled off, right? Some of it is, but it's in your blood too, right? What's leukemia again?
Blood cancer, right?
Blood cancer. Surgery spills it. You got a tumor, you put a knife to it, stuff comes out. Where's the tumor go? Out, right? I'm just going to eat what I want, enjoy life while I can. How many times you heard that? Brother, you have a pacemaker, you have an oxygen tank, a walker, and a medical scooter. You ain't enjoying squat. Don't give me that. And then other people are taking care of your ass. How selfish are you? That's stupid. You are a child. You are an irresponsible, selfish child with no repentance and no responsibility. Play that for your grandparents. Yeah, okay. You have to die of something. Right? Oh, next one, John. There it is. You decide or they do. You decide what you're going to die from or they do. These people who are sponsoring ACS so that you don't know what's causing your disease, right? While your insurance and your Medicare and your Blue Cross Blue Shield and your VA benefits slowly poison and murder you for profit while you're paying for it. Wake up. You're paying to be culled, murdered, slowly. But, well, I don't know. Natural health is too expensive. Shut up. Organic food, really? Food is the price of living on Earth. And you're going to skimp on it? And then you're going to wonder why you got cancer. Think about the stupidity of the stuff you hear, these common rebuttals. You have to die of something, right? No, you decide or they do, while you're being robbed blind and your children's inheritance is being stolen from 40 years of you working your butt off at a company you hated to pay off a debt that was on a bank's computer screen and pay off a mortgage, which means pay until you die, because that's just what you do. And you're going to get tricked into that. You're going to get tricked into killing yourself with an insurance premium. That's America. Yep, perfect. I want my insurance, VA, Medicare, Blue Cross, to pay for my treatment. They will pay for two things: drugs or surgery or procedures that then lead back to drugs or surgery. Period. Or I had one patient last week who was so excited, throwing her under the bus right now because, well, I can. But she came in and she said, I found a brand new cardiologist and he's so good. And I said, great. I can't wait to hear how good your cardiologist is. She said, he's not pushing drugs on me. I said, oh, wonderful. That's great. Yeah, he's so much better than my other guy. He just wanted to push drugs. Okay? You're not excited. No, I'm not. Why aren't you excited? Just give him 6 months. Right now, he's not pushing drugs on you. But by law and by license, he has to push drugs on you. That's how great he is. The government, medicine. Oh, great. And great insurance is how you got here. Remember that. The sickest people I ever see have the baddest insurance policies. And they love their insurance policy. Those golden handcuffs, they love it. The government, medicine, insurance, pharma companies would never poison me, screw me, lie to me, deceive me, be caught for fraud or malfeasance or deception. No, because they've all been caught lying. When do they start telling you the truth? Never. Good question. Yeah, never. Yeah, they would never do that to me. They just did. It's called 2020, right? The doctors say I have 30% heart function. Well, what else are they going to tell you? They never say, you know, everything's good. You're doing your heart's, you know, your heart's doing great. They always put you at a percentage. Oh, your arteries are 90% clogged. Why don't they say they're 10% open? I mean, why is there no positivity? I just never get it. Doctors say I have 30% heart function. They always will. And then come the drugs or surgery. Right? Because they're going to wait until that heart function gets to a point. They're going to wait until it goes to 25%. Because, you know, insurance won't pay for anything until it gets to 25%. Unbelievable. I'm a cancer survivor. That's great. However, what did you also change? What was the other thing you changed when you first got diagnosed? Because it wasn't just the chemo or the radiation or the surgery. You started waking up and you started changing your diet. You changed some chemicals. You changed something in your house, in your environment, right? So it wasn't just the drugs. Don't give it all the credit to the drugs, to the pharmacia. Doctors don't get kickbacks. Garbage. You ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Well, you're right, though, technically. They don't get kickbacks. They get what's called a reimbursement. Right? It's like saying the vaccines are safe and effective. They're not lying. The vaccines are safe and effective to them, not you. It's like saying, I didn't murder him on Friday. You're not lying, because you murdered him on a Thursday. Here you go. Vaccines don't cause problems. You know, like the HPV and Gardasil and all these vaccines, this and that. Well, go back and watch Shotpocalypse. Go back and watch Darkness to Light Part 10. Go back and watch Darkness to Light Part 6. We have many classes on vaccines. That's what got us kicked off YouTube and Vimeo. You should go back, check it out. They will soon begin normalizing strokes. The vaccines don't cause problems on. And heart attacks in children. They already have signs on buses saying kids can have strokes too. Have you seen these? No. To get people ready for the 5 to 11-year-olds getting vaccinated. That's what's coming. You're going to see kids dying. Cancer diagnosis, you're going to see all the cancer hospitals with kids just go through the roof. And people are going to be like, where's all the cancer coming from? Vaccines don't cause problems. They're safe and effective. And the last one, and then we're done. Doctor said I'll die without chemo. I've heard it. Or insert radiation, surgery, whatever. Right? Well, my question there is, what brand of crystal ball does he have, and where do I get it on Amazon? That's what I want. Okay, questions? Anything? That's it. So how do you avoid cancer? You avoid the chemicals and the radiation. You build your system. You rebuild it from the ground up, right? You stop eating all the crap and being subjected to all the crap. You stop paying fraudulent, deceptive companies to murder you slowly. That's how you do it. Oh, but I love Chick-fil-A. Okay, fine. Fine. It's whatever you want to do. But we'll help you kind of break through all of those barriers. We'll help you kind of start understanding that. You'll have books to read, you'll have documentaries to watch, you'll have all kinds of stuff. You'll come to classes like this, right? And we'll make jokes and look at memes and throw things at each other, and it'll be funny. All right, questions? Any questions before we sign off?
I have a question.
Microphone.
Are you going to help teach us what to use and pans to eat out of and food to eat and all that?
Pants to eat out of, food to eat. Yeah. We teach you all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's my question. I'm pretty loud. I guess everybody heard me.
We need the microphone for the recording, not for people. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like the old saying, you are what you eat, like it's very true. I firmly believe it. But like an alkaline's diet, do you recommend that?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Alkaline diet? Well, I mean, you have to define alkaline diet. Because here's the deal. Your body only cares about the alkalinity of one thing. And it will manipulate everything you eat or drink to make sure that alkalinity or acidity is the same, and that's your blood. So your body will acidify and alkalize what it wants, but alkaline diet, just by definition, is like staying away from sugar and inflammatory stuff. Okay, fine. That's what some people mean by an alkaline diet. But alkaline and, basic and acidic, you have to kind of define those terms. A lot of people don't know what alkaline means. A lot of people will say, like, do you do alkaline water? No, I don't, because just what we just said. Maybe for people who have cancer or autoimmune conditions or something, and they start drinking pH, water with a higher pH, they have miraculous turnaround. But here's the thing: they stopped drinking tap water and started drinking filtered pH water, filtered alkaline water. See, they change a couple things. So if you are what you eat, I would recommend not being cheap, fast, or easy. I would say if you are what you eat, that's the easy little saying. Don't be cheap, don't be fast, don't be easy. Because if you are what you eat, then you don't really people don't really know what's acidic and what's basic. But people do know what's real and what's fake. It's a lot simpler than just being acidic or basic alkaline. Make sense? Somebody as a patient, raise your hand and explain how we teach you how to eat. Somebody who's a patient. Christy. Whole foods. Explain that to people. What does that mean?
Just plants that come from the ground, what God made us.
Not processed, nothing taken out.
Not chemically sprayed.
Not chemically sprayed.
Not genetically modified.
Not genetically modified. Just easy, simple plants and animals, the way that God intended, right? So simple. We don't have to, that's a great question, because people think that when they come here, I don't know why, they think they're going to go on a starvation diet or something. They think we're just going to starve them. And I say, no, you can eat as much as you want of anything you want, as long as it's plants and animals. And you can eat until your jaw falls off. You can eat as much as you want. Because guess what? Your body's not going to let you overeat. Because you have this thing called, satiety. You have this thing called being satisfied, which sugar bypasses that whole thing in your brain. And when you start eating real food, you'll notice you start liking the texture, you start liking the taste, you start getting your taste buds back from the food scientists that have designed all the deceptive chemicals to trick your brain through your taste buds. And here's the kicker. You spend a buttload less money. People think it's, oh, so expensive to eat organic. That's a lie. It's expensive to pay for the chemicals and the crap that's sprayed on, the radioactive crap, a $4 bottle of Gatorade.
Yeah,
That's
they save money
expensive.
on snacks and garbage.
That's
You don't
expensive.
buy that
It
anymore.
costs money to bag and process and package and ship Frito-Lay and Hostess and Little Debbie. And you're eating more of that crap because you're getting empty calories and toxic chemicals. So your body says, well, I need more nutrition. I need more. You're getting up in the middle of the night because you have food cravings. Why? Because you're not eating real food. So America does not have an overeating problem. America has an undernourishment problem. So they're eating toxic crap in order to fill the hole in their body that only vitamins and minerals will fill. Sugar will never do it. So they develop diabetes. Number one disease in the world, what is it? Across the world, insulin resistance. Number one cause of death, heart disease. Number one illness, insulin resistance. So what does that mean? The entire world is eating sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar. That's it. It's a good question. Good question. So there's so many diets out there. Keto, paleo, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. What do you eat? Easy, simple, plants and animals.
Microwave stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Get your Weight Watchers so you can count your grams and carbs and calories and then nuke it. Yeah, perfect idea. Anything else? Anything else? Signing off. Dr. Brett Spradlin, Divine Design Natural Health. 2 weeks, 5G pentagram. See you soon. Giving away some free stuff.